fearless warriors that number just 100 souls. 100 wonderful defenders of our world. Their faces are forever masked. Their tombs are forever unknown. They are...
That video is still exporting.
The wonderful... I knew we forgot someone. You.
I'm the 101. Yay! This game is awesome and also infuriating. So this will be fun. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'll be joining Chilled Chaos and some other people for a game of Monopoly later today. So that's gonna make getting to Witcher 3 a little complicated, but I'll try to squeeze it in around that. That should be happening in a couple hours here. Did you make that standby screen yourself? Sort of, McBatman. I have cut and edited all the videos that you see in there, and they're kind of played randomly. So basically, I curated all the videos, and then they all play. Oh, we have Borderless. We have Borderless boys. Give me that 2K res. Confirm. Confirm, confirm, confirm. HDR is on. What's wrong with you? Yes. Hey, we got a video game. All right. I didn't want you guys missing the intro. What's RetroArch? It's an emulator. That is what I used for... Is that still running? Where did you see... Oh, there must have been an icon on my desktop. Yeah, I installed that to play all the Game Boy Advance games. Yeah, what's up, Dine Dick? Or Dine Dim? Hello. Hold. Control the sub screen using left and right sticks. Wow. Oof. Okay. So they just smush the other screen in there?
Easy, normal. Very easy. Easy, normal.
So this is when they were Platinum games, right? I think this was one of their first as Platinum, I think? Doesn't get much more dystopian than Monopoly? Yeah. It only pops up when it's needed? Okay. Oh yeah, very much Platinum. I'm probably not going to play through the whole thing right now because I kind of want to do it's like their 5th game. Yeah, didn't they like, they squeezed out tons of software in their like first couple of years as Platinum games. I want to do like a Clover/Platinum catalog playthrough. Was this before Vanquish? I think so. I think so. I don't remember exactly, but I remember like Wonderful 101 was the game where I'm like, oh shit, Platinum is awesome because it's got like all the originality and ridiculousness of like God Hand, along with kind of being a little busted. Oh boy, some of those boss fights, man. There's ones where you have to like get your entire team. Hell yeah, fucking Kamiya. Hell yeah. That means you know you're in for a good time. What did this run on originally? It was on the Wii U. It was a Wii U exclusive. This game is the reason I had my Wii U plugged in for years after I stopped using it, because I told myself I'd come back and play Wonderful 101 someday.
Alright, kids. Everything's gonna be fine. Just, stay calm and stay close to me.
Gotta amp the volume a little bit. Mission 1. So you collect all these people, and when you... In other levels, basically you turn average denizens of Japan into Henshin-style superheroes, or Power Rangers, basically, and you kind of recruit everyone to being in your Power Ranger squad. It's a really cool idea. Yes! You ever play Beautiful Joe? Of course! Where do you think the stream title came from? You think I just accidentally made that up?
Come on, Mr. Wedgwood, jump! Hurry!
Don't worry about him.
No, don't worry about me. Just get somewhere safe and hide!
Mr. Wedgwood!
He's got to protect his identity. You know it's a good hero when they throw a bunch of kids into a...
I've got to stop this bus, or else.
Awesome. A blonde-haired, blue-eyed invader. Real Spider-Man setup. It's careening towards like a school. Yeah, an elementary school. The train's about to crash into the orphanage. What's up, V-Rob? Hey, Titan.
P-Star. Roger.
Let's go. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I guess I tabbed out. It's got stubby little hands. I love it so much. Oh, Badman's. Platinum is a treasure. I worry that people don't respect or appreciate Platinum as much as they need to. Same with like modern Double Fine. I mean, I guess it was better when they were putting out games, but a lot of modern Double Fine games have the same like quirk and nostalgia as a lot of their LucasArts stuff did, but people just don't really pay attention to it. Like Headlander or Stacking, like those are classic, like really original, quirky games. Yeah. Was it Wonderful Red? I can't remember the main character's name. What's new with Psychonauts 2? Pfft. God. Is it possible? Is it possible to know such things? Psychonauts 2. Oh, Wonder Eyes Red. Wonder Red? Okay, I thought it was something like that. Most people only really mean Psychonauts when they say Double Fine. No, man, their entire catalog is actually really cool and super inventive. That reminds me, I still haven't played Broken Age. You know you're a real hero when you triple take punch and there's an explosion behind you for no reason.
Wonderful 100 don their sentinel suits in a mere 3 billionths of a second. These powered exoskeletons' ultra-dense biometallic fibers grant super strength, transforming
Brutal Legend
into invincible defenders of justice.
Yeah, Brutal Legend, good idea. Execution a little rough, but
Special combat agent. Sentinel's planetary.
and like Iron Brigade, super good.
Field office.
Switchport is not yet? I don't know.
Wonder Red.
More explosions. Also, I feel like this game kind of had the My Hero Academia aesthetic long before. The whole like, I don't know. I'm sure it's been done to death in many other places, but it does have that kind of vibe of being a very. Oh yeah, the music. I forgot. Is there a way to dodge? I can't talk over the theme song. So they just blow up after a while? Kind of weird. You can zoom the camera out by holding L, zoom in with R. Those buttons are not doing that. Oh, they kind of are. I see what you mean. Wait, are they? No? It's really just if I'm close to an enemy, it zooms in. I may not have camera controls yet. Oh yeah, Nitro. I remember that. Yeah, let me see if I can turn on subtitles. I love games that fuzz out the audio when you're in the options menu. Gosh, that's the best. I may not have subtitles. Unless I'm just not... Oh. Well. I mean, it has the setting for subtitles. Oh. Huh. I meant hold up bumper to zoom out. I mean, I know what you meant. It wasn't doing it. Like, I'm holding it. Oh, you have to hold it. Okay. I expected something to happen when I just touched it. Alright.
Get on!
Yeah, it did have a setting for it. Oh my god. Where's your explosion? Got it. Got it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, ooh, ooh.
Created in secret by the United Nations,
Good times.
military secret service organization known as the Sentinels is dedicated to defending the Earth from alien invasion. Amongst them, 100 souls from 100 cities around the world have donned a powerful exoskeleton.
Why is his shirt so glossy?
Sentinel suit
I always thought they were meant to look like toys.
as secret combat agents known as Wonderful Ones. Once they've completed the most stringent training exercises, passed the toughest exams, been certified as physically fit, and approved as mentally sound,
Oh, you do need to watch My Hero Academia.
chosen
It's
to
great.
enter the battle as Earth's frontline defenses. From valor in battle to secret intelligence,
Ah, Sentinels 100?
take each mission with
I didn't even think about that. That's pretty awesome.
concealing their identities as most classified. Their faces are forever masked. Their tombs are forever unknown. They are proud to go down in history as simply 1 in 100. They are the 100 most wonderful defenders of our world. The wonderful 100.
Play Gears 5? I have been playing Gears 5.
If it isn't Elliot Hook,
Why, is Gears a...
Los Angeles field office.
Wait, this is LA?
Wonder Blue.
Time for intros, dude. Unite Morph already.
Oh, right. Unite Hand.
By merging their wonder energy, special combat agents of the wonderful 100 link together in single file to form the Wonder Liner.
Oh, right. Gosh. Oh boy, I remember that now.
The Unite Morph
The special ability that works every time except when you actually need it.
enables them to recreate real-world objects by rearranging pseudo-digital subatomic particles according to a bubble memory blueprint and linking their bodies electronically together, unleashing awesome power.
Unite Sword. Dude, feel the sting of my Valiantium blade.
Unite Morph!
Wait, you guys are all?
Wonderful ones who don't have time to wait for some noob. You gotta stop that bus, dude.
Roger.
Oh, they adjusted how accurate you gotta be for the morphs? Okay. Yeah. Because there were a lot of boss fights where you would have to, like, do a specific morph at the end of the fight to, like, finish the fight, like almost a QTE sequence, and it just wouldn't fucking go. Like, very familiar with that frustration. A lot of boss fights I had to do were like 4 or 5 times, the whole thing, just to try to get the morph way at the end. God bless. Okay. Do you have to hold the stick? Huh? There we go. Platinum! Is there a way? Okay, there we go. Wow. Ow. Oh. Right. You get batteries and then you can recruit more people. Alright.
The Wonder Liner extends the Wonderful One's wonder energy to ordinary citizens, electroplating them with tiny wonder masks that
Every game with drawing mechanics.
transform the
I
citizens.
don't remember that being such an issue in Okami. Oh. Gosh, alright. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure wasn't there like a Katamari vibe to this too, where you could recruit group or like there was a mini game around recruiting a certain number of like or specific people. Trying to remember. Was Beautiful Joe plus Pikmin? Pretty much. Yeah. Beautiful Joe was seen as the greatest game ever. At least on Judgment Day. There we go. Okay, so if you hit B, it just remakes the last one you did, I'm pretty sure. Oh, fine. But yeah, I do recall some of those Unite sequences where you had to, like, form specific shapes. Ugh. This is too Japanese for my mind. There's no such thing. How dare you? Kung Hidan. Thanks for the sub.
Build up the tracks and go airborne. Dude, what? Unite, build.
Yeah, things like that.
Build allows wonderful ones to instantly analyze
I remember there were, I think by like stage 5,
and synthesize.
there are like stage failing sequences where you have to do stuff like this.
Digital subatomic particle manipulation enables
They were bugged on the Wii U version? Okay.
to literally make
Have you been playing this a lot, Dine, already? That's really good to hear. That I remember being like the one thing that, yeah, I mean, that worked. I remember even in the tutorial mission, I think I failed the Wonder Punch a couple times because I was like, I'm drawing a circle! What do you want from me? Oh, you backed it, so you've had it for 2 weeks? Right on. Cool. That's very good to hear, though. Good news. Yes, children.
Wonderful 100.
That's right, because all the random wonders that you recruit,
Wonderful ones.
like that one's got a Famicom controller for a face, that one's a toilet boy,
Not those liars.
there's a post box, streetlight.
Double-O, schmumble-O. How can they save the Earth when they can't even save one person on it? We're better off without them.
Oh boy, this ratty kid. We gotta convert his heart. Oh, look at his cute little handwriting. What's up, Sad Admiral?
Luca.
VG Daily? Yeah. That's a cool looking ship. It's a weird mishmash of like kind of this 20s, 30s aesthetic plus Japanese henshin? Oh, okay. Tommy from Rugrats.
I believe we've identified this planet's primary defense.
Good. Let the games begin.
They will bow
It's my favorite kind of villain.
like all the rest.
The schemer. Good. Everything is going according to plan. Yosh.
Well done, team.
How do you lose Unite Gauge? I can't remember. I guess I'll worry about it later.
The wonderful 101.
There was a deadly attack on an erotic spa in Toronto. What the fuck? What's wrong with people, man? You spend it when drawing morphs. Oh, okay. Unite Guts and Unite Spring first. What? Oh. Hey! Why are we loading? Okay. As you see the effects, you can simultaneously put them in custom blocks. You have available slots. Oh, weird. Okay.
Unite guts.
Ah. That's probably good to have.
Unite spring.
Ah.
Small wonderful noodle soup to go.
That's a really cute little ramen bowl. What am I watching? A fantastic video game. Oh, it's Terra Strong, gotcha. Oh, incel-related terrorism. Great. Oh, that's why they attacked an erotic spa. Oh, god damn it, the boner rage. The boner rage is strong.
Small wonderful
Just masturbate, guys.
wonderful noodle.
It's so much easier and more productive. Characters are familiar, but I don't recognize the game. I mean, it's meant to be pretty hollowing of classic Henshin stuff. Oh, look, it's voiced by Debbie Derryberry, the voice of Jimmy Neutron, also the voice of Coco from Crash Bandicoot. Whew. Yeah. Jerk off and think with a clear mind. I think a lot of dudes hang on to that resentment and that anger because they think it gives them focus, direction, and clarity. Because unfortunately, if you jerk off, then like what's left in your life? I don't know that incels have a whole lot going on in their careers or their private lives. So, to me, when I see people sort of really relishing that anger and resentment and frustration, I feel like they hang on to it because they don't have a cause aside from that. It'd be great if there was something. Ah, Austin, you're proclaiming your innocence? Why don't incels just hire a fucking hooker? I don't get it. Because then they feel manipulated.
After 20 years of silence, Geth Jerk is back.
He is
Now they're
jerk.
hitting us where it hurts, with a preemptive strike on Blossom's.
I also fundamentally believe it's about control mechanics or control dynamics.
Following Earth Defense War 2. And I'll die before I let them lay their paws on it.
I don't want to speak with authority here because I've done an amount of reading on incels and hey, it's me. And also I used to be a angry, sexless young man. I think the idea is that
They'll be dead from the blade.
they perceive other men as getting sex for free.
Our colleagues at the Gaia Defense
Let's not dive into how broken that mentality can be, but if they view
Margarita
awesome. If they view sex as transactional, they don't see why they should have to pay for it
has most of the
when other men don't have to.
Unfortunately, none of the GDA
So-
tactical simulations accounted for the salty dingoes blitzing our orbital defenses.
Salty
before
dingoes,
Margarita could be
right.
shaken to life.
If
Entire battalions have turned our
if
own
you
to a cocktail
perceive
of
other men as receiving sex and companionship as their birthright,
gathered you all here.
then you get really upset that you're not given that thing. And then you either blame your genetics, you blame society, you blame feminists,
eliminate the enemy.
you blame everything except for the fact that you're a really bitter, disheveled, out of shape, ungroomed
Project Stinger.
person with very little to offer a potential
Save
partner.
everybody the trouble.
Wonderful ones
Boom.
from around the world are being and will join you
So
as the battle progresses.
it is aggravating to me because
Resident
guys,
Gotham City,
angry dudes often act against their interest.
valuable asset to the team. I'm placing you in charge. This is your chance to.
Because yes, you would think lonely dudes with a surplus of money would be all for legitimizing sex work.
With all due respect,
If you can pay $10 for a nice burger, why wouldn't you pay $100 for a nice blowjob? You know, like it's Friday, pick up a 6-pack,
Cakes? Really?
go to your favorite escort. Can I post an article I found on it? Sure. It depends on what the article is, but yeah.
Attack squadrons in the Blossom City suburbs.
The problem is though that
Indicate heavy anti-air.
that actually does grant agency to women in the process, and I think men, when they get spiteful and angry, don't want
block our approach.
they don't want.
100. Deploy and eliminate those enemy
I
forces.
feel like they want an emotional victory and not a physical one.
fall in.
Because yeah, a physical one would be getting laid, but I feel like that's not the goal. The goal is to conquer. It's to like it then becomes to change society and culture into one in which you're given what you want by default. What doesn't help is that I think a lot of dudes also think that that's how it used to be. To some degree, they're kind of right, but going back to that is also really bad. They feel sex will give them value. Speaking personally, I can say that I don't know if it's so much value, it's more like validation. I definitely, when I was young and kind of edge of inceldom, I had such a low self-esteem that I needed validation from women. You know. And
Back here this instant. The world depends on you.
unsurprisingly, that is a huge turnoff to women. When you talk to them and they can feel that you're putting all of your insecurity on them and their acceptance of you, it makes you really not want to be around that person. So, aren't incels turning to rhetoric that sex and masturbation is degenerative? I've seen some of that. It's shockingly, what I've seen mostly is that men will, you know, say that promiscuity in women degrades their value and like makes them an unfit partner. That's my fit. Like, no, I won't get into it. It's I don't know. It's sad. I hope and pray that transparency is the key. Like, hopefully reaching young men when they're on the verge of, when they're like maybe 16, 17, being like, hey, it's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel like unaccepted. It's okay to feel those things. That doesn't make you broken. That's just part of the process. And please, for the love of fucking God, do not externalize your relationship frustrations. Those are really cool looking peppers. So in this attack, was anyone hurt? Celibacy has a lot of good sides. For me, I have more free time. It's still not enough. Far less what I consider silly drama. Work out for health myself, not spending any money on pointless stuff, but I'm weird that way. Hey, if it works for you and you're happy, that's great. Yeah, aeronautical, somebody in chat was just talking about it. Someone died. Fuck, man. I remember being, I remember being really confused too. This was like back in the early to mid 2000s when like nerd culture was starting to blow up, and there was a pretty rough like, it was happening on a micro level. It wasn't really the macro level until like Gamergate later, when like kicking women out kind of had a purpose and a pseudo like they found a cause basically to put their misogyny behind. It's about ethics in video games. Come on. So I saw it a lot in the mid 2000s of dudes kind of gatekeeping women out of like video game or nerdy things, and that made no sense to me, because I'm like, why would you want to not have women here? That makes it less weird. Like, I remember just being in a room full of dudes playing video games and being like, something's off if women don't feel like they can be here. And I mean, it was probably honestly me when I think about everyone in the room. So I weirdly had the mindset that like both I want more women to be here, but also I was the asshole that probably made it uncomfortable for them to be around. Very, very weird. Shit. Okay. I do love the mechanic of like all your little mans flying out when you get hit. Okay, that's the counter and that's the spring. All right, just making sure that I. Come back, mans. So I wanna try to. Okay. Attack. Hit him with a United attack when they're weak. I missed that dynamic because early mid-2000s, the MMO genre was full of women. My Link Shell in 11 was probably 40% female. Yeah, there were certain games and certain enclaves where women were really allowed to flourish and like just be as nerdy. I feel like The Sims was another one where like The Sims blew up, and it was very, very women-leaning. Thing was, like, dudes didn't care because they didn't feel like it was encroaching onto their territory or infringing on their identity because it was The Sims. Go play with your dolls. But yeah, Final Fantasy XI was a fascinating culture because not only was it like, it was anime and it was pretty,
Back here this instant.
but it was hard as shit. Like, Final Fantasy XI, it's a real fucking gamer game. And the women that got into that game, like, they were in it. And they were like, none of this like, oh, you just want to play with your dolls. Like, no, that was real gamer shit. And it's frustrating because I feel like that culture, and I see a lot of that in 14 too. Like, it's pretty, it's got the music, so in a way it is kind of, speaking gender normative, of course. It's got the aspects that women typically find more appealing because it's not about a big beefy dude stabbing everyone to death over and over again. I think many men these days have the hero complex where enduring pain is a central facet of heroism. We all want to be heroes on some level. Yeah, Nitro. I've been thinking a lot about that lately. The martyr complex. I grew up in, I say this a lot, I grew up in the church, and the martyr complex was huge. If you weren't suffering, then you weren't being a proper Christian. Like, it was almost said literally, like, if you're not getting persecuted, then you're not doing enough for the Lord. And then I feel like to some degree that transcends over into like nerd culture where we want to be the hero, we want to be Captain America. And what does Captain America do? He gets the shit kicked out of him every movie. And it's his perseverance through those adversities that makes him a hero. And so yeah, I think a lot of dudes, if they don't feel persecuted, then they don't feel like they're fighting for a cause. And a lot of young dudes want a cause. That's unfortunately where I think like also there's a very fertile ground for some stuff like that. This is an interesting story to jump into with no context. Yeah, sorry. Kind of talking about some of the more toxic online cultures because of what happened in Toronto, I guess. How long did you sleep after your 24-hour stream? I took a 3-hour nap, and then I slept for about 12 hours after that, and by then I was pretty much caught up. No. Literally just wrote a whole paper about this? Yeah? Huh. I mean, feel free to share it if you feel comfortable doing that, or if you're at liberty to. Now, I want to be the Doomslayer, too. Jay Ninny, thanks for the Prime sub. Kobold King, thank you for the Prime sub. Another analogy being that if you progress through a game, you encounter more and more enemies. Yeah, I did finish Streets of Rage. I want to get back to that and play that a little more. Play with different characters. Do like a run with every character. That'd be really fun. I'm going to do that soon, I think. I love that game. I remember when my girlfriend bashed me, was joking around the time saying that some games I played were casual. Women can be true gamers. It's true, man. They sure can. 2Z Minutes are mountains. Thanks for the Prime sub. I feel like by and large women don't react the same way to intense challenge that men do. Again, speaking totally gender normative here. I know that there are always exceptions to the rules, but I feel like dudes kind of like having their ego challenged and then confronting and surpassing a goal. Whereas I feel like, speaking very stereotypically, women kind of want a nicer experience. I remember, oh wait, can't you recruit them? You can. I remember when I got to college being super excited that I found people that were super into Final Fantasy, but like, a lot of my friends at the time, my lady friends, would they were into it because it didn't require like super hard inputs. It had nice music, like it had aspects of the game you could appreciate without the game telling you that you lose and you fail and you're a piece of shit because you didn't mash all the buttons at the right time. I remember being very appreciative that I could finally meet ladies who were into games, even if the reason they were into those games is because they offered an experience that was more approachable, but they were still like games. They were still hard, and they still had value. The shitty Deadliest Warrior fighting game on Xbox, she got super competitive about whooping my ass. Nice. Fucking nice. Oh wait, these are friends. Like how those dudes just spill out of it. Most of my female friends were into games, so I never understood when people said women can't play games or whatever. I have my theory about it, which is to say, I know how I felt. Here's a peek into my borderline incel brain. What do you? Oh, sorry, you're not talking. I thought you were talking about me. And I've kind of gone through this before, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself. But my rationale was, I'm only single because I'm being true to the things that I love. I love video games and I love nerdy stuff. And to a degree, this was sort of true in my hometown. There weren't a whole lot of people who were just super into games, or maybe they were, and I just didn't have the social skills to talk to them, which is, now that I'm thinking back on it, probably far more likely. But I do think that's a crucial part of the narrative, which is to say, like, I don't have friends and I don't have a girlfriend, not because I'm bad at socializing. It's these other factors that are out of my control, which both removes responsibility from you and gives you some victim points. Move on to step 2. When you are confronted with women who, like, are cute and play video games and, like, all these things, you automatically assume, well, we have these things in common. It must be like all of my animes, where now we will start dating. And then it doesn't happen. Again, because of the aforementioned lack of social skills, really having nothing to offer, aside from just playing a lot of video games. Not really the best value proposition for a dating partner. But that certainly could not be the case. Because again, hero complex, victim complex, all that mushing together. So the only logical conclusion is that they must be faking it. They must be faking it. Otherwise, I have no reason to believe that I should be lonely and sad, you know? Wait. I have to pick this up, or do I just break it? Maybe I just break it. Alright. Oh, they all died. They died. Oh no. I saw them die. That was bad. Wait. Hold X, turn left stick. What? So I see an amount of that, like, well, the only logical conclusion is that they must be faking it. The irony is, like, who would... Man. Awesome. I love you, Wonder Beer. That's not a prize, right? That's the thing that I never get. Oh, equip hand first. Gotcha. That's not and has never been and will never be a prize. To have your pick of the litter of men who make no effort to be socially acceptable or interesting. But still, you know, that doesn't really factor into it. It amuses me that guys actually think that women would pretend to be into nerdy stuff just so they can attract guys who sit inside all day and play video games. Of course, his assignment is Munich. I had a unique experience growing up that other people didn't have. I was made fun of for being poor, not because I was nerdy. I was never actually made fun of for being nerdy either. The only things I were ever made fun of was for having garbage social issues, or social skills. Just kind of being an insufferable dork. Because of my own insecurity. I'd project that out and just kind of be a pill to be around sometimes. But, you know, victim complex and all, I took that to mean nerdy, and also media would kind of tell me that that's why it was happening too. Not to say it's the media's fault, but, you know, to me, it does make a little bit of sense why, oh yeah, this would be lower screen stuff, huh? Oh boy. Right bumper, and use stick to look around. Oh my god! Hold on right bumper. Okay, there. So it's a pretty powerful and kind of complicated, Oh, I didn't have to make the fist again, alright. Are you practicing Banjo Killer Red Wagon? Nice. Oh wait, hold on. We got a puzzle. We got a big puzz. 235, alright. Most people into nerdy shit just want to be left alone? I think that's true to a degree. I do think that, like, maybe people attracted to nerdy things may be a little more introspective. Why are you doing this? 235, alright. God damn it. So I do think there may be a bit of a natural fit there. I mean, certainly for me, I was attracted to playing video games because they didn't involve socializing with somebody. Could L the center camera behind this view? I don't know why they didn't tell you that. Okay. I mean, I don't really need it. So it would make sense to me that there's an incidental personality crossover there. Hey, Dawn of Nights. J.G. Wentworth? Or John G. Wentworth, excuse me. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you for giving me my money that I need right now. Talking out loud, I'm always worried to assert myself and ask people out. I only hear about the bad ones, and I don't know what a good one is or how to accept rejection. I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of social pressure to be good all the time. I feel you 100%, Quintonius. I used to be terrified of, like, asking people out because I didn't want to impose on anyone. I didn't want to make anyone feel awkward or uncomfortable. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Oh, frick. I did that way too early. There's so much shit on the screen. Why is there this huge map? The radar panel, go... Oh! Radar panel, go away! I really need you to disappear. Fuck. Holy crap, that's so big. Why is it so big? God damn. So yeah, now that Me Too has justifiably raised a lot of awareness up on D-pad, it's not going away. I'll have to hold it. Ah! That made it worse! Go away! Fuck! Back? Okay, thank you. Fucking Christ. Ah! Okay, alright, I'm figuring it out slowly. Yep, this is nostalgic, alright. I remember this. There. Jesus Christ. I mean, as paranoid as I was about that stuff, and as many mistakes as I still made, I would be terrified in the current climate. I think probably also justifiably. Like, there's no way... I feel like there's no support structure for young men to figure out how to, like, romantically interact with women. It was certainly not discussed at all where I grew up. Because, I mean, it was just, like, if you didn't meet them in Bible class, that was just not a scenario worth talking about. So, I just had to kind of figure it out through trial and error, which was terrifying and meant that I made a lot of people more uncomfortable than I needed to. Which is frustrating to think about. Ooh. Shake back and forth. Oh, okay. Do you think that nerdy misogyny bled its way into early game dev culture? So, when do you think it started changing for the better? I don't know if it's so much in game dev culture. I mean, I think game dev culture is just dudes that grew up on a certain kind of media wanting to repeat those themes in the media they want to create. And yeah, every girl is different for sure. I mean, it's tough because I think when you're young, you just want to know what a relationship is like, which can lead to, like... Oh my god, what? Select item, use item, okay. How can you tell the difference between these two? They look identical. I guess one has more stuff in it? Alright. Just have friends who are women? Yeah. I mean, I always did. And I think the problem is then you might go into, like, the friend zone problem. Yeah, I got it. Jesus Christ. Go away. Where, like, I was able to have a lot of female friends, I think mostly due to their patience, not necessarily due to my personality. But none of them wanted to date me because they properly recognized that I would be a nightmare to go out with. Some of them tried to tell me that as delicately as they could, but I wasn't in a place where I was ready to properly receive that. So yeah, I agree. Having female friends is good. That at least indicates that your attitudes toward women are not so broken, but... Looking back, the amount of deprogramming I've had to do just to get close to normality and having female friends is nuts. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of the dudes that are going online looking for guidance and help to understand themselves and their feelings. And what they're getting are YouTubers that are lecturing them about how women want to manipulate them. Like, that's not good. I get why that's a fertile ground for dudes to fall into. But it's scary. Being happy is the main goal? Yeah. Anyway. If you're going into it thinking, is this person a hookup, you're not going to be in the right mindset? I don't know about that. I think it's totally okay to be like, hey, we're hot. Let's make out. That's fine. As long as it's mutual. And that's the tricky part, is you kind of have to figure out how to read those cues. Which, guess what? Video games do not tell you how to do. Damn it. God damn. How are you supposed to... Is that when you use the spring? The sad thing is, I think there is actually, like... There's actually, I would say, fuck. A good use for... What are you trying to tell me to do here, game? What do you want me to do with this? Not that, I guess. What is this meter? What is this meter? Why is there a meter here? You'll pop up full-page tutorials for everything. But not this specific combat encounter where you're throwing a new meter at me. Is that a health bar? Fuck. Okay, it's a health bar. Now we're going. If you ask me, as a 29 dude who's gone through a lot of growing up in the past several years, the best thing a man can do to attract women is to find out who you are first and actually be okay with being alone in that. Once you achieve that, women will literally run to you. I think that's true. Yeah. Dudes, or that's just being a good partner. Is knowing who you are, being secure in yourself. That way you won't depend on your partner for anything. People want partners that enhance their lives, not partners that fill a void in their life. That's the goal, as far as I can tell, anyway. And being I can't. Wonderful 101. You're coming back to me now. I remember. Yup, just losing all my dudes to these little fucking explosions because I can't really control where they go. Yeah, there we go. And they come down way faster than, like, you can actually move out of the way of. Maybe there's a way to make that not happen. I don't know. Don't worry about the dudes. Look at them though. I have to. They're so innocent. You're right. I should probably not worry about that. They'll wake up and come to you after. Oh, okay. So yeah. I think I probably, well, people told me this and I didn't listen at the time. I could have saved myself and other people a lot of frustration and annoyance by learning how to socialize at an earlier age. But I think certainly having some amount of guidance of people, mainly men, or grown men, I guess, talking to me in a nurturing way, didn't really happen. So that's what this toxic masculinity thing is all about, huh? I don't know, that's so much toxic as it's just the lack of a good support structure. Cool. I have no idea what's going on in these games, but this is the type of game I love to see. You love seeing me play? I love playing these games, so I cringe looking back at how much weird and antisocial stuff as a kid. Everyone cringes about stuff in their childhood. Oh, huh. Yeah, and that's kind of what bugs me is I worry with, like, call-out culture and all that. I worry that there may not be... Using a item will lower your score. Alright. I worry that there may not be places for dudes to, like, or even just mean, women typically don't experiment in dangerous ways, I feel like. But I feel like dudes should be allowed to ask women out. Like, it's gonna be awkward. I don't see how it's not gonna be. Everything's awkward when you do it the first time. So the first time you ask out a girl, it's gonna be awkward. I always remember feeling that frustration that, like, the vibe always was, like, maybe this is dating me a little bit, but it always felt to me like I was expected to make the first move, but I was also expected to get it right. Like, I had to be charismatic and charming and like, well-spoken. And I'm like, well, how can I do all those things without practice? And how can I practice without making some poor girl feel really uncomfortable for a while? Yeah, intention, yeah. I later learned, much later, are people getting called out for asking people out? No, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying, as somebody who is terrified of the prospect, that knowing that there is a culture of, like, appropriately, I want to make it sound like I'm not upset at the current state of affairs, but and it's also still, it would have, like, if I'm speaking in these terms, it would have been my fault to make it happen. But I'm just saying, as somebody who is already terrified about making women uncomfortable, or like saying the wrong thing or imposing too much, or like, where's that line between being aggressive and being confident? You know, finding that line is tough, and I think it does require an amount of social experimentation. And given that, like, somebody can just go onto Twitter and be like, hey, this creeper just asked me out and I've never felt so uncomfortable, like, that would be really scary. I think it's a lot harder if your social circle doesn't include the kind of people you look to date. Yeah. I feel like that would just be like, well, fuck it then, I'm not going to worry about it. And then I think, yeah, it's what you do after rejection, for sure. I think what I later learned is that the key is make rejection very easy and convenient for the person you're asking out, so that they're not put on the spot. Create a situation where they can optionally spend time with you if they want to, but they don't have to, so they're not locked into it. That way it's like, I think, like, doing, if you're, like, inviting somebody out for the first time, and again, these are things that I eventually figured out because I was able to understand the empathy of the asking out situation eventually, when I was able to get to the point where it's not about me, it's not about you fulfilling what I need, it's about actually trying to meet each other and spend some time together. It's being cognizant of the anxiety on both ends of it, and then giving the other person as many, like, easy outs and safety nets as they want. The problem is if you're not, yeah, exactly, macrophage, or fahe, no, it's phage, right? If you're truly confident in yourself, and you're not pinning anything on the acceptance of yourself, then you can be in the place where you're like, hey, I'm gonna go do this thing. You seem pretty cool. I'd like to see you there. If not, that's no big deal. Anyway, just want to let you know. And then, like, you have to also accept the fact that if the other person doesn't show enthusiasm, that means they're not interested. It wasn't a failure of your part to attract them, because that's not the mission. The mission is to find people who are mutually interested in each other. So you just put out the welcome mat, and if they decide to step on it, then that's great. But don't react by insulting her. Well, that's what happens when you have something writing on it, and then if a no is an insult to your masculine ego, that's when you lash out and you try to demean the thing that said that you weren't valuable enough for it, and that's blah. That's why I really dislike the simp meme, because it's building into young men's minds that to be imperfect, vulnerable, and human and talking to women is weak and laughable, when in fact it's simply the reality of dating and seeing people. Yeah, I'm super not a fond of that either. To me, the simp meme is hugely regressive, and I'm not happy seeing it in chat. But I also, like, it's just where the internet is right now. But, like, to do nice things for women is not a weakness. Fucking God, I'm not a big fan of that. But it's the internet word right now. And if I, like, banned it or whatever, it'd just make it worse. So I'm a simp for MMO lore. Well, that's just, like, I don't know. The frustrating thing is, like, it's gotten so abstracted from the actual meaning of the acronym, which is you know, dudes losing their mind because they finally got some action, and it's like, well, I mean, she's not. Yeah, nice to women doesn't equal simp, but that's how people use it now. I feel like simping is a thing and it happens in specific circumstances, but everyone like there's some shit, man. It worries me sometimes when memes like that get really popular because it's like, okay, you just really wanted a word to demean like respecting women in any capacity. You were just really hungry for a word that you could just throw out anytime you see that. To be like, look at this asshole. Come on, guys, we're better than that, right? Well, whatever. Poor Bruce. Why? Oh, is his stream still cutting out? I think Simp originally wanted to call it fuckboys. No, that's not what the acronym means. What is it? Simpleton idolizing mediocre pussy? The acronym, and this happens, is like the first time somebody gets laid and then they think their girlfriend is a goddess. And then they bend over backwards for her, and it's like, come on, man. It's just your first girlfriend. You don't have to, like... What are the... do I have to punch it? But since then, everybody's sort of been like, Herb Derb, you did a nice thing for women, simp. I'm like, come on. Come on. A lot of herder. God damn it. The cues of those attacks are like so delayed. More culture in general, not the simp meme. I mean, sure. Where am I? I think one's a reflection of the other. What? Form the thing! Oh. Alright. I hate the term NPCs too. Yeah, that was shitty for a while. I mean, I think it shades of the same thing. Implying that anyone who, like... That was just a way to, like, dehumanize anyone who thought differently than you. I feel like that was just sheeple under a different name. The NPC thing thankfully didn't last very long, because I think it was... Like, that was a little too telling, that they just wanted the world to be video games, and that everyone who said that unironically viewed themselves as a video game protagonist, and that no one else in the world had, like, sentience. Oh, the NPC thing? Yeah, that's fine. It never really blew up past, like, 4chan, really. And even then, it didn't last super long, because I think it was too honest. Honest, frankly. It exposed, like, broken mindsets too thoroughly. Can I just say it's weirdly relaxing to hear someone thinking out loud in the background while I do shit? It's certainly a large part of why I watch Twitch. Well, Blackwood Sound, I'm certainly talented at word vomit, so I'm glad that it helps you out. Pious Lambda, very well said. Toxic internet communities prey on young men with shitty, sexist, and racist humor. Taking them in and reinforcing... Hold on a second. Reinforcing toxicity. What was it? Your worldview should not be taken from keyboard warriors. I agree. I also recognize the reality of the situation, which is that a lot of young men, I don't think, have people speaking to them in the way that, you know, YouTubers do. And I think the other problem is that, like, the YouTube algorithm has certainly created a kind of the same issue with, like, conspiracy videos. I think young men who are curious for or desperate for some kind of social mentoring. Like they drink it up like a thirsty plant, you know? So you have 40-minute videos with seemingly well-reasoned, seemingly intelligent, well-spoken dudes explaining the real nature of things. That just so happens to also lean into, kind of like we were talking about before, the victimhood complex, the hero complex, all these things that you desperately want to believe about yourself because these are the media and the stories you've been consuming your entire life. Is it this wall? Oh, it is this wall. Okay. I remember very specifically for a long wait. Patterning my behavior and my expectations off of off of what I saw in movies and stuff, which is mainly that like all you have to do is be nice, and not even that nice. Like a lot of 80s and 90s narratives, the protagonist would get the girl in the end just by doing the right thing. So for a lot of the times in my life, I would try to do the right thing and then be really frustrated that I didn't get companionship or like my reward, you know? And it's not necessarily that I logically believe that that's how life should work. It's just that's the only narrative I had to play off of. Because it's not like my dad ever talked to me about relationships. Like, and if that's the only example you have, yeah, that's how you're gonna think it's how it works. Which I think kind of does lean into the aspects of like media being important, because it does kind of form people's lives or people's views about life. Ideally, parents would be in there being like, hey, I saw you just watched that movie. Maybe let's talk about that a little bit. Or be like, here's how I met your mom, you know? Something like that. A lot of people never get that. That's important, man. When I was 13, my parents were divorcing. So, like, my dad was the last person I would want to talk about, good relationships with. What do you mean, Dawn? I don't know that I know better about anything. I think I have the gift of distance and perspective. Growing up in Gen Z with the internet was a minefield. One direction was people playing video games, and the other direction was a YouTube algorithm hellhole laid to PragerU and a wall of conspiracy videos. I feel like Gen Z. It's gonna be interesting to see what the crew of adults that were raised on the internet will pop out like. Especially since some of them were, you know, force-fed Adderall and shit like that when they were younger. It's gonna be interesting. I don't even know what PragerU is. Okay, I was straight up not paying attention. Oh, okay. As usual, the goal is to make a circle. Force-fed Adderall gang? Nice, Dr. Innuendo. Oh, okay. And so you know better? I don't know about that. I just want to make it clear that, like, I think everybody's perspective is valuable, and I don't want to make it sound like mine are the most valuable simply because I happen to be streaming or talking a lot. Ooh. Oh no, all my little mans. What? Oh. What? Oh. Ah! I didn't know the little dudes could send out little shockwaves. Holy crap. God, I love those little feet steps. I think one big step we could take as a culture is taking romantic and sexual relationships off their pedestal and promoting more close emotional relationships of other kinds. Bella Beluga, I agree. That gets complicated though, because testosterone is an amazing drug. Holy shit, man. There is a very unique and extremely powerful cocktail of being like 14 and insecure, and then getting your first doses of like, I need to have sex with something. Because testosterone has more flavors than just sexual arousal. It also makes you aggressive, and it makes you like strong. It promotes muscle growth. So like the formative years of I can only speak with authority on this because I used to be one. I can't really speak about what estrogen does to women. Women end up being an emotional dump for their husbands and boyfriends because said men never got to have the pleasure of close friendship. I agree with that, Bella. I was fortunate enough to have some
Back here this instant.
close friendships in my life. But even then, I did not know how to leverage those relationships to get what I socially needed. I didn't know how to ask for it, because I didn't know you could. Yeah. constant state of walking around with caveman brain, wanting to put their dicks in anything that moves. Yeah, that's a part of it. There's still a thinking brain there, and still a reasoning brain. But what's up, Turbid? How you doing? I wish men could be softer and feel safe about it. Yeah, I agree that part of that is, I think part of that is society. Another part of that is I honestly believe that's just part of being a hairless ape. Part of being a dude means that you just have, maybe I should just speak personally, but there is an attraction to dumb doodly shit, you know? There is the desire to go out and be a hunter, to attack and kill, to provide. Like, it's the idea of being constructive through destruction. Like, that's the goal. And you see that reflected in every action movie, right? I'm gonna blow up this building, but that's actually a good thing. I'm actually protecting my family or saving the world. That's usually how it's put. And it's just not good media to have somebody who does positive things through only constructive means. Because it just doesn't resonate, you know? There's nothing wrong with doodly shit, but society says that's all men can do. I don't know if society... Yeah, maybe society says that. It's an interesting mix of, like, these are the stories people want to hear. And that's not a bad thing. But I feel like, yeah, after you watch Die Hard, you should probably be like, hey. You get very philosophical, sometimes go off on a tangent. Yeah, what else is there to do while you're playing a video game? Aside from use the bathroom, which I will do right now. I'll be back in just a second. Okay. Make sure. Okay, everything's good. Yeah, let's wait. Some talking about supportive memes. That bodybuilder meme was so delightful. The sad thing is that, like, the comedy of it played off the irony and the stereotype that, like, bodybuilders are meatheads and super jocks. But it's good to destruct those things. Yeah, Dr. Acula. Castlevania's so good. And break this car. Ha! Yeah! Eat it, car. Me and my friend haven't seen each other in a while, and we hugged, and we're like, I love you, man. It was real nice. Yay! Oh, Alicia, the one of, like, the dudes around their laptops. It, like, starts with a skinny guy, like, asking questions, then everyone else is like, hey, man, don't worry about it. I don't know the actual official name of that meme, but it's a good one. It's a solid meme. Someone had to pay for that car? Must have been a villain. Must have been a villain that did it. Yeah? And I like... What? Where did I... Oh, I guess there's mans over here. Ladies. Okay. You're under the bridge? Yeah, it was just super confusing for a second. Relax. I'm trying to save some people. Alright, fine, never mind. Biggest fucking sword in the world. So your Unite only lasts for a while. Seems... I can't remember the exact mechanics of how this all works. What are you doing? Can't... Man, I gotta figure out the telegraph for these attacks. What? I hit... Oh, I thought I hit left trigger in time. Where am I? Oh, I'm under all the attack. I'm down where I'm getting my ass kicked, it seems. Okay, so if you eat a hit, like, you just lose... Ah, I turned into a Lego man! Alright. Okay, and then it drops to base. Okay, and then you have to redraw it. Got it. That makes sense. I want to save these guys! There's a little heart over there, too. That's important. I guess I can't make a ladder over there. Nor can I seem to, Move the camera out. Hey, Dork Chop. Welcome. Yeah, this is an interesting and extremely unique video game. Oh, you gotta go back? Oh, okay. Oh, I think I see. Yeah, you gotta go through this house, maybe? Also, hey, Captain. The superhero Pikmin? Basically. It's not quite as pastoral as Pikmin. Pikmin's pretty relaxing. Or at least it can be. This game is more of like a character action beat-em-up game. This looks more fun. Yeah, depending on what kind of game you want. I could see being more people's style. God damn. I feel like some attacks come out real fast and some come out real slow. Nice. I like his tongue. He's a bar and grill waiter? Oh, he's high in leadership. Did the stats mean anything? Ah! No! Where am I? I don't... Okay. Shit! Oh, okay, that's interesting. If you get them in a, I think I get it now. If you get them in a weakened state, it basically, like, instantly lowers their life bar so you can get a fast kill. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's so much crap going on the screen. How are you supposed to, like... my eyes can't even track the telegraphed attacks or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna do it this time. Then he does that, and then he attacks. Okay. Then there's this other guy. He's gonna shoot at me. There we go. Alright. Don't know why I'm not moving. Okay. It's a little rough when they're obscuring you from the screen and you don't know where you are or why you can't move. Fucking Christ. Or they shoot you off screen. That's always fun. That's weird. That's like usually a beat-em-up no-no. Is to have enemies just fucking blitz you from off screen like that. And I can't zoom the screen out anymore. Now it's zooming out. What are you doing? Why are you just sitting like that? God. Can you stagger like 7? Sort of. The closest thing to stagger is like getting that attack, where you can flip them and then attack a weak part. And that's timing based. You gotta block at the right time. Oh, thank you, Don. Glad you're having a good time. That's what I'm here for. Play games and spread good vibes. Oh, I thought they were all going into the helmet. Hold on. What the? I can't see. Alright. This helmet's here for a reason, right? Yeah, more of a parry. Kinda. The timing is not that bad. Not that intense. You pretty much just have to be blocking when they attack with a certain... Can you not put it... I thought you could, like, have everybody get under the helmet. Circle it? Oh, right, circles. I keep forgetting circles. Everything is circles. Alright. Why is... People aren't under the helmet! Oh, whatever. I'm like getting all banged up. What was that? How do you get... No, I want you to put it down! Ah, maybe they'll put it down on their own. Okay, alright. I was trying to go back for that, I was trying to go back for that building, but I've been really down lately. The stream has revitalized me a bit. Oh, no worries, Horatio. Man, I thought we were talking about some pretty heavy stuff. I'm glad that you found some reprieve in that. Are these people tiny or are we fighting huge things? I mean, what's the difference, really? What? Okay, so there are some... I guess projectiles you have to dodge. Physical attacks you can jelly dodge. I guess that makes sense. No. I'm not sure, like, what's the difference between attacking with the sword or attacking with the fist? Are they mechanically different? Like, maybe one does more damage close, the other one has more reach? Hey, what's up, Bosnian? Hello, Bosnian pal. Oh, Undead Pool, thanks for gifting a ton of subs there. I appreciate you. Boing, boing. Every time I use the mouse wheel to look at chat, it boings a little bit. New Diabolic, thanks for the resub. Thank you for gifting subs on Deadpool. Appreciate you. It's Mighty 36. Pretty much. Honey dipped pretzel. Damn, I want that. Pretzelicious. Chocolate dipped churro. Crap, I'm hungry now. Alright. I'm gonna beat this level. Hey, we made it to the Wonderful Mart. Alright. Oh, I just did it. Alright.
I expect more of you, team.
I'm working on it. Sword, longer range, less damage. Okay. Thank you, Kaito. Hello, Epic Trilby. Great name. Uh-oh. Oh no. Look at all those fails. Enemy weapon held. Like you have to finish the stage holding a weapon? Oh, Wonder Red's glove is faster and it can absorb fire damage. You bunch of peoples? Yeah. You control the whole squad of Power Ranger bros. And you basically link them together to form giant weapons to fight people. It's a really cool system. Very inventive game type. Absorbs lightning. Okay, I haven't gotten to those mechanics yet. Can you get a Megazord? I don't remember if there are a mecha in this game. Good news though. My other video finished exporting, so now we get all the frames. All right, another quick break. I'm gonna grab something to eat, and then get in some Witcher time before Monopoly, with Chilled and a couple of other. What?
5 years.
Of what?
Witcher.
Oh yeah.
That's today.
It's today.
Yes, that's today.
Okay.
Which means that everybody has been sharing their memories in group chat, Slack,
No.
and our head of PR found his Playboy issue.
Oh yeah, the one with was it Triss was on the
Yeah.
cover? Yeah. Good times.
And Holly was sharing. She's like a whole bunch of collection of things, including like a Triss like nudie fucking puzzle.
Puzzle?
Yeah, it was a puzzle.
Oh man,
Of
that's
her
awesome.
just topless, like laying out.
Nice.
And all of those such things. But yes, this also means that I can officially talk about the champagne.
Oh yeah.
Because that was specifically for that, and everybody was posting their pictures of champagne that they got from the company as the yay 5 years of Witcher.
Nice.
So it's very sweet, very wholesome.
Cool.
Them come and celebrate.
We should. Yeah, I was about to reheat some lunch, but we can have a cocktail.
Sure.
When I come back. All right. Or on break, whatever. All right. See you guys in a second. I'll be back with Witcher 3. 10 years. 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.